more public displays of homesteading. And I'm here in the garden and we're doing more onions because we're trying to grow all the onions for a family of 3 for a whole year. And here's a nice triple wide row that got planted yesterday. That was awesome for all 3 of us to come out here and work hard together. We've got more mulch here from under the rabbit hutch. We have our garden helper, Flittermaus. Here's that first row that I did with you guys a couple days ago. Everything's standing up nice and green. Then Matt and I worked on this one. So that is the next bush down there. And then Ivan came and he ripped with the mattock the next 3 rows. So he ripped this one, and it had lots of large chunks of grass that we pulled out and plugged in to the rabbit garden. And I used the little hand claw to work that, and then we put perlite in. And then this one here, Ivan ripped that, and then I did the same thing with tilling it by hand with the claw. And I'm gonna add perlite into that with you guys today. And see, these are the chunks that come out. Amazing dense root systems and lots of aggregate around the rhizosphere. Really good soil. It's all fluffy, and when I put the perlite in it, it's just like potting mix. Coming along great. And so here's how it looks when it's first ripped. So Ivan puts his back into it and rips up these big chunks of sod, and then I hand work it so that it looks like that. So next step then, I've got perlite here, and I'm going to put that perlite down this row and work it, and then plant a bunch of onion starts. Hey there, Marie. Welcome. Love you too. I have an eye appointment today, so this is going to be maybe a quick video, but I just wanted to show what it takes to grow a year's worth of onions off-grid on the homestead. Right, so this is the first year I've tried using perlite outdoors, and we always put it in our planting mix. And okay, let's start planting. I think I'll go down there and move forward with you. Oh, here's something kind of funny. Let's see if I can show you this. Oops. Woo! See that thing there? That is a giant radish that stayed for a year in the ground. All right. Post up right there, maybe. Hi. Can't plant onions without a cat. That's the rules. I don't make the rules. The cats make the rules. And this soil is a little bit more dry than is optimal, but so it goes. It was damp yesterday, but we worked for hours out here and I got tired, so I put it forward to today to do it. And the soil got a little bit dry. And as I was saying earlier, we eat a lot of onions, so a family of 3, the onions for an entire year adds up. All the home-cooked meals involving onions. I harvest the onions in July, and we ran out of homegrown onions, I want to say in January. So this year I want to do better. There's a lot of leftover organic material from removing the grass, and that's just free mulch. Plus there's a lot of microorganisms in that root area, so that's going to continue to inoculate the soil, keep it alive. And a lot of these onions are quite tiny, but I just plant them all. The dog is being naughty with the cat. Leave it. The cat told him to leave her alone too. I don't remember the exact number, but there's a stat that the percentage of organic material you add to the soil, I think it's 1% more organic material helps. I think it's 10,000 gallons of water per acre. So, building a good sponge here. All right, let me move you back. Hey there, Omega. Thanks for joining. You can always watch the replay at like double speed. If you're watching this on replay, that can make the planting go a lot faster for you. All right, here goes the next section. A decent one. This is the one that they would count, and they count to 50, but they give you all these little tiny ones, and they grow and they make onions, so I plant them. So far for the past 2 years, I I won like third place and I want to say second place last year for my contribution of onions to the county fair, which is kind of funny. I love participating in the county fair. It's free to enter if you're in Apache County. Free to enter and free to go to. So the perlite is a volcanic porous rock that holds moisture, and it also gives kind of an apartment complex for the microbes to live in. Just another sponge for water retaining, and it's our first year trying this outside. And it is unseasonably warm here in northern Arizona. Usually when I'm planting onions, it snows on me. And it's going to be almost 80 degrees today. All right, let's move on down the road a little bit. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Maybe a little further back than that. Like that. There we go. So one of the things about raising a year's worth of onions is that they take 4 months until harvest. And you only get, 1 onion per plant. So that's a lot of real estate in, the kitchen garden. So that was one of our dreams when we came out here. Grocery store onions were so terrible with a pith in the center and kind of like rotten in the middle sometimes. So onions were one of the first things that we wanted to do out here because we have the real estate to grow plenty of them. I never added up our annual onion purchase to compare, but it's nice to not have to buy onions from the store. And even though it's February, oh, it's March now, even though it's March now, the UV up here is pretty intense. So, hence I have a UV protective sun shirt on. I plant the tiny ones even maybe a little closer. Mostly I try to be about 4 inches apart for a proper sized onion bulb. There's a farming channel called No-Till Farmer, and they have a special tractor that's a one-pass tractor that does what they call strip tilling. And no, that's not a only gardeners channel, but it does basically my model here, where it does a strip that's tilled and strips that are left intact, living pathways. And I watched one of their promos for their tractor, and it basically does exactly what I do to my seed bed here. It cuts a little trench, and then it forms this raised seed bed in the center with 2 irrigation channels on each side. And they have a lot of very positive testimonials from the farmers. So here I am, though, doing it by hand, homestead level. So real homesteading, as you can see, is not that glamorous, is it? It's a whole lot of planting onions. I don't know, that's my dream life, though, obviously. How's everyone doing? Just have this row of onions. This guy is a salt bush. It's a little in the way, but I like having the salt bushes in my garden. Volunteer perennials, woody shrubs. It adds to the diversity in the community. Plus, they have endophytes that protect against pests and drought. So, I'm a salt bush fan. And this one's kind of got a topiary shape. I was thinking about actually turning it into a cat topiary with ears and a tail. Kind of ridiculous thoughts I have while gardening. But you know, when you're doing repetitive work, it just kind of lets your mind go wild. Plus, they say there's antidepressant compounds in the soil. And who doesn't need natural antidepressants today? Especially when your antidepressants grow you onions for the year. A little ahead of myself here. I can hear the ranch truck driving out past us. They've got cattle calving on our parcel. But there's so little grass grown this year. They're bale grazing their cow-calf pairs. I appreciate that so that the cattle don't damage the range even more. We have not managed to fence our 40 acres. Only this inner 4 acres is fenced. Tiny one there. And the last one for this row. Woohoo! Another practice I have to stay motivated is celebrate whenever you complete something. So I'm stoked. Right on. Well, I hope you guys liked seeing all those onions go in. The next thing to do is to mulch it up. And that's why I have a pile, where is it? A pile of mulch at the end of the row there. So you're going to see how I spread that with my pitchfork. Okay, so I'm not sure if you could tell, but the goal here is to side dress the baby onions, not to bury them in mulch. So I peel a little bit of the mulch over it, but I leave them standing up so that here. And then I like for there to be a lot of mulch on the pathways. It breaks down and then I can pull it over. This area did not have enough for me to pull over. The previous area over there did. But I need to go to a different mulch pile, and I'm just gonna go ahead and end this video at this time because I need to just complete this job and get to my eye appointment today. But I really thank you all for joining me. Let me turn this around. I have to take my glove off in order to touch my screen. Right, so thanks for joining me today while I show you how I homestead with hand tools off-grid to feed my family a year's worth of onions out here in the high desert of northern Arizona. Thanks so much for stopping by for more public displays of homesteading. Cheers and blessings.